My personal definition of black masculinity would have to be a feeling and a state of being in which the ideals of love, service, and sacrifice are embedded and poured into everything you do. That's how I would define black masculinity. And I've experienced that in more ways than I can probably enumerate. But from my mentorship that has been given to me while I matriculated through college, and really even now as I progress in my career, that's really where I see black masculinity in its true form. As people pour into my life, as they labor on my behalf when I'm not looking or when I don't even know about it, for me to be successful. And so that's really how I see black masculinity played out in its everyday form. So that love, service, and sacrifice poured out into everything, from mentorship to leading to you being a great person. 3 key takeaways that I now try to live my life by, and that are very hard to live your life by, but that I try to really focus on as I create my, my plans, and as I think about what my role is and what my purpose is in life. Is 1 is that I represent more than just myself. 2 is that I'm responsible for more than just myself. And 3 is that I'm required and obligated to be successful so I can bless more than just myself. And those are the 3 things that I think about constantly in my evolution, in my development, in my growth. I represent more than just myself is because I represent my community, my family, other African American males, America as a whole. So every time I come in encounter with somebody, my job is either to add and build on our reputation as a country, as African American males, as my family, or change someone's perception who may have had a negative perception, and to say, hey, these people are great, or whatever may be the case in each situation. So I represent so much more than just me. 2 is that I'm responsible for so much more than just myself. So I'm responsible for the development of other people, whether it be African American males, whether it be family members, whether it be people who I've never seen, people in other countries who I've never met. But I'm responsible in some way, shape, or form because people poured into me and were responsible for my growth and my development and my matriculation in each stage of my life. So it's my obligation, my duty, to do the same thing for other people. Lastly is that I'm required and obligated to be successful for more than just myself. I know that my parents struggled when they came over to the States so that I could have a better life, so that me and my brothers and my sisters. If you look at slavery times, African Americans, our ancestors struggled so that we in this time can have a better life. When the Pilgrims came over to the United States, they struggled so in turn we can have a better life. So I know that my struggles and my success that I have is not just really meant for myself, but it's meant to bless my generation, bless my institution, and bless those who may be less fortunate. So those are 3 takeaways that I have from my own black masculinity that's been shaped through my experiences. You don't wake up one day and say, this is my black masculinity. This is how I define it. It's ABC. It's really through your experiences that you have. It's really when you see it lived out day in and day out, when you see the sacrifices people make on your behalf, or when you discuss the sacrifices that you probably didn't realize were made on your behalf. And then when you read about those sacrifices. So 3 different examples. When I read about Dr. Martin Luther King and his black masculinity and what he was able to do, when he really found and looked at his purpose and then lived out a dream that he probably never knew he was going to do, but he found what he was passionate about and lived it out. So when I experienced black masculinity through my mentors and from my mentors in different mentorship capacities in my life, it's been huge, it's been profound. So those things, reading about it with Dr. Martin Luther King, experiencing it and discussing it with my mentors, with my colleagues about how it's played out in their lives, has helped me shape my definition. So now how I live my life. But if I just said, this is my black masculinity one day, and I didn't have any context for it, I don't know if it'll really be black masculinity or just be a definition of how I want to live my life. Well, some people talk about you find what you love and you just do it and you live it out. Some people talk about, do you get that feeling inside of you when you do something? And I think they all kind of touch on that same thing, is that when you think about what you're passionate about, when you think about what you love, what you can see yourself doing forever, and in what way you want to change the world, does your heart beat a different way? You know, does it skip a beat in a sense? When money's not important anymore, when it's all about how can I learn more about that, how can I grow more about that, how can I build that, and how can you really go in that direction of whatever it is that makes your heart beat that way. I think when we're able to say to people that that's what you need to be doing, and that is the culture, and it's not about money anymore, or it's not about material things, or it's not about what other people want you to do, but when you really can find your passion, your niche, and have your own black masculinity, when that's overlaid into that, so when you find something that you love and that you're passionate about and you're excited about it, and you enjoy waking up and thinking about and doing it, and then you overlay that with love, service, and sacrifice, I think that's how we get to those things.